You open the fridge, it's full, shelves packed, drawers stuffed, and still, you stand there in the cold light and say there's nothing to eat. You've felt this before, dozens of times, but the real reason you feel this way is far stranger than you think. Because the version of you that evolved to find food spent almost its entire existence terrified of the opposite problem. Not too much choice, too little food, for too long, with no idea when the next meal would come. For over 2 million years, your ancestors were not eating steak around a campfire every night. That image is mostly wrong. It comes from old documentaries, and even older assumptions. The truth is messier, stranger, and it explains things about your body that no diet plan ever will. So what did they actually eat? Let's go back, way back. Picture the African savanna roughly 2 million years ago. Hot, dry for months, then suddenly green. A small band of early humans moves across it, maybe 20 people, maybe 30. They are not hunting a herd of mammoths. Most days, they are not hunting anything at all. Anthropologist Frank Marlowe spent years living alongside the Hadza, a hunting and gathering people in Tanzania, one of the last groups on Earth still eating largely the way humans did before farming existed. What he documented surprised a lot of people who assumed our ancestors lived on meat. Most of the calories the Hadza eat, day after day, come from plants. Tubers dug out of the ground, berries, baobab fruit, cracked open and scraped out by hand. Honey, when they can find it, which is treated like treasure. Meat shows up, but it's irregular. A hunt might fail for days. Then someone gets lucky and there's a feast. Now stretch that pattern back across 2 million years. Not one tribe. Thousands of generations. Your body was built inside that rhythm. Feast, then nothing. Feast, then nothing again. That's the world your metabolism was designed for. Not 3 meals a day. Not a fridge that refills itself every week. A world where food showed up in bursts, and your body had to be ready to use it, store it, and stretch it. Here's where it gets stranger. For a long time, scientists assumed early humans ate mostly raw plants, and the occasional scrap of meat, similar to chimpanzees. But chimpanzees spend most of their waking hours chewing. Hours and hours, just to get enough calories out of tough, fibrous food. Human jaws are smaller. Human guts are shorter. Something changed the equation. Primatologist Catherine Milton compared the diets and digestive systems of humans and other primates for decades. Her research pointed to a simple but uncomfortable idea. The human body looks like it was built for a higher quality diet than raw leaves and stems could ever provide. More energy dense, easier to digest. But where would that energy come from in a world without farms, without ovens, without any of it? The answer changes everything. Fire. Primatologist Richard Wrangham proposed something that sounds almost too simple. Cooking didn't just make food taste better, it made food give up more of its energy. A raw root might be barely digestible, locked behind tough cell walls and resistant starches. Cook that same root, and suddenly your gut can absorb far more of it, using far less effort. Less chewing, less digesting, more energy left over. More energy left over for what? For your brain. The human brain burns through roughly a fifth of your daily energy. Just sitting there, thinking. No other animal spends that much. Wrangham's idea is that cooked food helped pay that bill. Once your ancestors controlled fire, every meal became more efficient, and bodies that could extract more from less had more left to spend on something extraordinary. But cooking what exactly? This is where most people guess wrong. They picture a hunter dragging home an antelope, but dig into the actual evidence and a different picture forms. Anthropologist Amanda Henry examined dental calculus, the hardened plaque scraped from ancient teeth, from Neanderthal remains. Trapped inside that plaque were microscopic starch grains, cooked starch grains, from plants, grasses, roots, tubers, even what looks like an early relative of barley. This wasn't a side dish. This was a staple. Long before bread existed, long before anyone planted a single seed on purpose. Your ancestors were already cooking starchy plants and eating them regularly. So the picture starts to look like this. A diet built mostly around plants. Roots and tubers dug from the ground with sharpened sticks, seasonal fruits, nuts, leafy greens, insects and grubs eaten without hesitation, because they were reliable and full of fat and protein. And meat, when it came, treated less like an everyday food and more like a windfall. Shared immediately, eaten quickly, gone in a day or two, because there was no way to keep it. No salt shaker, no spice rack, no way to make the same food taste different twice. Which raises an obvious question. If meat was rare and plants were the daily reality, Why does almost every culture on Earth treat meat as something special? A celebration food, a reward. Maybe because it always was. Scarcity creates value. When something only shows up occasionally, your brain learns to crave it, to remember it, to want more of it the next time it appears. That craving didn't disappear when meat became available every single day at the grocery store. It's still running in the background, quietly steering what feels like a treat versus what feels like just food. Now here's the twist that connects directly to you. Your ancestors didn't eat the same 5 things over and over. They couldn't. The plants available in one season weren't available in the next. A drought could wipe out an entire food source for months. Survival depended on knowing dozens, sometimes hundreds, of different edible plants, roots, fruits, and insects, and switching between them constantly depending on what the land was offering that week. Variety wasn't a lifestyle choice, it was the only thing standing between your ancestors and starvation. That need for variety got written into you. It's why eating the exact same meal every day for a month feels almost unbearable to most people, even if that meal is healthy and filling. It's why walking past a buffet triggers something different than walking past a single dish. Your brain isn't responding to hunger alone. It's responding to options. Because for almost the entire history of your species, more options meant a better chance of surviving the next bad season. There's a famous line of research on this called dietary diversity, and it keeps showing up in nutrition studies looking at hunter-gatherer populations around the world. The more varied the available foods, the more stable the population's health tends to be. Monotony, on the other hand, even monotony of healthy food, tends to correlate with deficiencies. Your body wasn't just looking for calories. It was looking for a spread. Different plants carry different vitamins, different minerals, different compounds your gut bacteria depend on. No single food, however nutritious, covers it all. So when you stand in front of a fully stocked fridge and feel like there's nothing to eat, you're not being dramatic. You're not even really hungry most of the time. What you're feeling is an ancient alarm, tuned to scan for variety, going off in a world that no longer needs it to. Because here's the part that should genuinely unsettle you. Every food in that fridge is, in evolutionary terms, almost identical. Different packaging, different shapes. But strip away the branding, and most of it comes down to the same handful of crops, grown the same way, processed through the same handful of industrial systems: wheat, corn, soy, sugar, combined and recombined into 1,000 different products that all chemically rhyme with each other. Your ancestors never faced that. Their monotony was forced by nature, and it was temporary, broken constantly by the next season, the next migration, the next discovery of a new plant nobody in the group had tried before. Your monotony is invisible. It hides behind colorful packaging and 100 flavors of the same 3 ingredients. And your ancient alarm, the one built to detect a lack of real variety, can't tell the difference. It just keeps going off. So the next time you open that fridge, packed full, and feel that strange flicker of disappointment, you're not malfunctioning. You're remembering. A body shaped by 2 million years of feast, famine, and constant variety is standing in front of abundance and quietly, instinctively, asking the only question that ever mattered to your ancestors. Is this actually enough?